everybody, and welcome back to Eastburn Models. Today we're going to be going through how I created these brick walls, what I put on dolls' houses and any other model that I need to build, and walls and things like that. And it's just basically corking that you buy, just stuck onto cork. And what we'll do, this is the cork that I buy. It's 4mm thick and it comes in big, absolutely massive sheets. So I use that, and then I cut this into squares. And how I do that is I went on Excel and I reshaped the grid lines. So I had 13mm by 7mm. So you're 13 going across and by 7mm deep. Then obviously I've made it so it fit onto an A4 sheet of paper, and then all I do with that is I then stick it to the back of the corking I'm just using PVA glue. That's all I use for it. I've tried the spray mount, but the paper starts lifting off this when you're cutting it. So I just prefer PVA glue and just do it one night and it's ready for the next. And what you end up with, it's a bit wet, is this one. It's been on a couple of hours. And what you end up with is it's stuck to the back of corking now. So all we do now is we just get the Stanley knife and we cut the lines out like so. If I just cut that and just take your time, just keep on the line like so. I'll just do another one, and you bring it down again. It does rip. It's because it's wet. I haven't left it overnight. It's because just for purposes of this video I'm just speeding it up a bit, and you'll end up with like as many lines as you've got on your paper. You'll end up with all them just in separate pieces. Then all I do is just get a pair of scissors and just cut along the lines and just keep going until you've got rid of all the bricks that are there, and they will all be uniformed roughly within 1mm of each other. You're not bothered about the fractions out and stuff like that, because I'm not going for engineered brick. What I'm doing is I'm going for the old Victorian brick, and as you can tell, some of them are a bit different shape than others, but it's just the way the scissors cut it. But to me that helps the brick lines, you know, it helps the waviness, it adds to the character. And the reason I use corking is because it's got a texture on it already, but the camera's not going to there. Oh, I thought it had it then, but it's decided that it don't want to do it now. No, it's not going to do it. I'll have to invest in some more cameras. These are horrendous. Yeah, so you've got texture. Let me just get a pen. The bricks have got a kind of texture on them, which is what I'm after. Like I said, I don't want engineered brick or anything like that where it's a smooth finish. I like the texture on the brick. You'll be able to see some kind of texture, but not to the benefit of what you can see by your naked eye. So that's why I'm not bothered about some of these. But when you put them together, they are practically the same size in thing, but you will get variations, and that's what you want really, to create that look. And how we do it now, to keep some of them out, makes it easier for when I do. Although I've got a big pile there already out. So now what I'll do, just for a test sample, this is just similar to that size there, just to give you an idea. Just put some paper down here. Now I just get my glue glue brush, and I don't brush it, I dab it, because when you brush it, it ends up with no glue in certain areas, but this way you're just dabbing it and it's creating pools, which is what you're after. And then it's just a case of, I have a paintbrush that I basically used a pencil sharpener on end, and it just gives me that point. And then I put the paper side down, because remember that's where we stuck to get the brick size. So I put the paper side down, and then we just go round and just put all the bricks onto the cardboard. The cardboard that I'm using at the moment, it's only very thin, this stuff. It was just for demonstration purposes. Then just put it to end of your paper. And because of the amount of glue on, they slide relatively easy. Just get them somewhere in line, like so. And then you want to stagger the bricks, because on a house they don't stack bricks on top of each other. So where there's a line where the two bricks are, you want to put the next brick halfway in between the two. Somewhere like that, by leaving roughly the same amount of gap there. And then you just keep going back on. But as you can tell, some bricks are a bit longer than others. What I tend to do is balance them out from the top end and leave the mortar line so it's like it's being dropped. Because I'm going for the old look, not a new build look. And I just tend to just shove one there, and then when it's dried, we just cut that off. But I priced up these bricks into the same size. And just to get 200 bricks, it worked out at £8 with postage. And yet I used 3/4 of one of the big sheets I've got, which came at 900 long, and I got 2,000 bricks out of it. And I got 4 sheets for £7. So if I'm going to get 12,000 bricks out of £8 worth of corking board, as opposed to getting 200 bricks already made into this shape for £8. So it's worth spending the time and just cutting the bricks yourself. That's I'm just rushing this. I can't really see what, because I don't want to put my head into the camera. Then you just keep going on. It doesn't matter if you've got bigger gaps there than there or there, as long as the bricks are somewhere in line. Because like I said, if you want uniform lines where they're perfectly engineered bricks, well then you'd have to draw lines onto your cardboard and keep within them lines. But because I'm not after that, I'm after a house that's been built for 100, 200 year look on the brick. And then that's it. And then there. So we just keep going along. And going along. Until we get to keep rubbing glue off your fingers, because this stuff don't half stick to your fingers. There. Just allow me to put my finger on there now. And then we go half again. Onto there. Keep having to look in monitors because I can't. If I put my head further over to see it, you're not going to be able to see it because of my head. I've got a nasty habit of putting my head in camera. It's just because of cardboard, it's a bit tricky. It's so thin, it's cardboard, but like I said, it was just for demonstration purposes, that's all. But that's why I put so much glue down, because it does allow me to correct it. I once made one of these and I used fast active super glue, but what I found was if you need to do a bit of twirl, like I did this earlier, you know, obviously a bit of time ago, but I still can move them. I still can move everything around. So it just gives you that added play time. And then we'll just push down there so I can get a play on that one, stick one there. Some of these are a bit chamfered off, it's just sometimes when scissors cut it, it cuts it on a bit of an angle. Just remove that there and just move that up a bit, but I'm not bothered about different pointing lines. Like I said, it all depends on what look you're going to go for. I'm just giving you the fundamentals of how you can save money by making your own bricks. Like I cut these out with Stanley Knife and these scissors, but if you're wanting uniform bricks, there's no reason you can't put these on one of the arm guillotines and get a nice crisp. But because the dolls houses that I create and the churches and the walls I build for when I set me airfix, when I've done an airfix model, I want to create it within an environment itself. I want the roughness of the age period of the house, sorry, the walls. Right, so there we go. So now we've got a staggered look, we've got the texture, and when all that's dry now, a bit like this one's on its way, what you tend to do with this one is, I've got another one here. What we do with them is we make some tile adhesive grout. It's only cheap to buy, but I have a big bag full of white stuff. So when I grout all in here, I will be adding a bit of craft paint, grey, just to turn the mortar grey, and then I'll sponge it all in there, fill it all, and then wipe it all off. But I can't do that until I've coloured the brick and sealed it all up, because it is corking. If I put grout on top of this now, it's going to get into all little pores at corking, and I'm never going to get rid of it then. So I'd rather just wait until I've coloured the bricks what I want, and then seal the bricks, and then put the grout in at the last. Then I know then once I've wiped it off with a cloth, because once it's sealed up with polyurethane or something, or a satin coat of gloss, then I know the grout won't get into the fabric of the stone, so I can just wipe it straight back off. But that's how you create the walls. That's how I create the walls, and it's just a cheaper option. It won't come back off there now. I think I've gone straight through paper. I have. It'll be alright. Like I said, I'm not going to use it anyway. It's just a cheaper option than having to buy these at £200. I mean, sorry, 200. You get 200 little bricks, same size, same thickness, everything of what you've got here. So it's the same thickness, but you get 200 for £8. Like I said, I've just created 4,000. I can create 4,000 of these by taking the time to cut them into this for the same price by buying the big sheets of corking. So, but that's what we do with that one. Now I will put a picture up to show you what I've done, how I've put these onto a doll's house. I've only just finished putting the stonework onto it. I still need to do a little bit more because, as you can imagine, it takes a long time to put over 1,000 bricks on a house, one by one. But I will put a picture up on just how this looks on a building that you're doing. There's still a bit of work that needs to be done, like shaping the ends of the bricks and everything like that. But I need it to set on the house before I can start shaping everything. Just move that there. I keep messing with it, but I'm not going to use it anyway. But yeah, so I'll put a picture up and let you have a look at that. And that's it. I just wanted to give you a quick guide on how you make the stone walls. Now these here, you could put them onto cardboard, or you'll see on the model that I'm just on with at the moment when I put a picture up, I've even put it round the plinth of the doll's house to create that look of a stone wall. Now there's nothing stopping you from actually getting thick cardboard like that, then doing sheets of it into the A4 and then cutting it into sections and then just sticking that straight onto your doll's house to create, or any garden walls that you create. I just like to put them straight onto the actual fabric of the building instead of having a piece of cardboard between them. Like I said, this was just for demonstration purposes, just to show you. But the beauty about it is it's still pliable. So if you wanted to go around, create an arched wall, as you can tell, I'm bending that way around for like a driveway. You've got a nice curved wall now, so it, you know, because of the cardboard on the back and it's corking, so now I've got a nice driveway what I'd come into on my doll's house and going in, because I can just put a plaque on here saying what house it is. But you know, you can shape these in any way you want. They could even go that way and create an internal wall. So, but you know, it's completely up to you. It's just to give you a quick idea how to do it, and how to do it very cost effective as well. So apart from that, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. I'm going to try and get a video up now every 3 days, just to show you the progress that we're doing, and go and because I've got some nice stuff coming up, because I've had a delivery through and of some Airfix models that I'm going to be doing, and I've got some paint wars, so I can try some paints and keep tuned for what I'm spraying them on. I've done no but go out and collect them, so I've got too many now. but just to give people an idea of what the colours will actually look like on a certain item. So apart from that, guys, thank you for watching. Take care. See you next time.